to get back to Dick Stump, the
Yes,
story
please.
about Bill Kaplan was the studio edict was you must use our equipment, right, in the sound department, because they would charge you, charge the production for their own equipment. You know, that shit.
Yeah.
But what was fascinating was, it's the president. No, what was fascinating was they had old radio mics that looked like cigarette packages with the little antenna. They were pretty big and thick, like that thick, and they were shit. I mean, they were not good. Bill said, I'm getting police calls on these things. You know, they really were not very good.
Yeah.
Now it is standard practice to, when you hire a sound guy, you also hire his kit. Yeah. Meaning he brings his equipment.
He's renting you his equipment. Yeah.
All his stuff, and you pay him for it.
Yeah.
But that means that the level of equipment is top notch.
Sure.
You know, because that's his livelihood. So he's got every, motivation to keep it up.
Absolutely.
So Bill had all the up-to-date, modern everything, and we did Animal House. But the studio, well, first of all, I got him in the union because he couldn't work without being in the union. And I was able, with the muscle of the studio, to force him into the union.
Oh, that's great.
So I got in the union, and then Dick Stump told him, you have to use our stuff.
Oh, boy.
So he came to me before we went up to Oregon. He said, John, this stuff is shit. I can't use it. I said, well, okay. So I go back. I'm told, shut up, go fuck yourself. And the bottom line was, Bill said, God, I'll use my own equipment.
Yeah.
I can't do this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, now, as I told you, I like production. I like the dialogue of the day. Now I use ADR very often. I've replaced bit part actors and made their performances 1,000% better by getting a better actor.
He's busy, boys and girls.
It's the Pentagon.
Okay, well, that's all right.
This whole thing in Ukraine, they won't leave me alone. Anyway, the story is, we're shooting in Eugene, Oregon.
Yes.
University of Oregon.
Yeah.
And we're almost like, even though I had a studio assigned cameraman who I loved, and I had a studio assigned first, who I hated at first and then grew to love, studio assigned production designer, who I then worked with 5 more times. So they did protect me, actually, and it was good, although they also fucked with me too. Yeah. And one of the things was, I get a call at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning in my little motel room at the Roadway Inn.
Yeah.
Under the high tension lines, where the whole unit is staying, and all the actors, everybody. And is this John Landis? Yes. This is Dick Stump. And I'm thinking, who the fuck is Dick Stump?
what a name.
And I said, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And he goes, listen, I was at Daly's today. Now, this was a sore point because film is expensive. Yeah. And digital's a whole new world of waste in terms of it doesn't cost anything, so they just roll forever.
Sure.
I feel bad for assistant editors.
I feel bad for actors never taking a break anymore. They gotta go pee or something.
Case, when film was expensive, you printed the ones you wanted. It's all a different thing. But when you saw dailies, they had to make a print and project the dailies. So the studio was holding my dailies. They were, by the way, the DGA is not supposed to allow this. I learned later, but I didn't see dailies on Animal House until I'd finished shooting. And it was a nightmare. Anyway, but everyone in LA at the studio, they were watching my dailies, and luckily they liked them, but still it was tough. The story I'm telling you, the sound story, is he calls up. There was a shot, you may remember, in the movie. It's at the frat house, at the Delta House, after Otter is beaten up, and they've all been thrown out of school. And all the Deltas are sitting in the like living room, and they're all depressed, and they're on chairs and shit. And then Otter comes in, and it's very down, and suddenly the music becomes ominous, and Dean Wormer walks in.
Right.
And there's a big wide master of John Vernon comes in this way. There must be, everybody's in the show. It's a big master. And I played a lot of dialogue in it. And then I got coverage, of course, and stuff.
Sure.
So Dick Stump says, I just saw it's the whole sequence in the Delta House where the dean comes in. And I'm going, yeah. And he says, well, the sound's excellent. Yeah. Well, you're not using our equipment.
That's how he knew.
That's how he knew.
That it was good.
That's how he knew.
Wow.
And I'll never forget. I said, I'm going to find out where you live and kill your dog. I mean, get off the fucking phone. And I made a slam down, you know. In any case, it turned out that Dick Stump, being head of the sound department, was also head of all the ADR stages. And he wanted them busy. And if I have a movie where there's on Animal House, we had our group loop, of course, which
loop
is
group,
always very important.
Sure.
You bring in 15 very talented actors, and
all the background chatter and all
the
that
backgrounds. You do all kinds of, and you often come up with really good stuff.
Oh yeah, you improvise lines and get a few things and get a couple extra gags in. Absolutely.
And in any case, but in terms of looping, I think maybe
not too many lines.
Maybe 2 actors had to ADR a line or something. It was nothing. And
here's the question, though. Go on. You're not done.
Well, I was going to say Dick Stump. What they told me was he was furious because he thought we were making him look bad.
Oh boy. Well, you know, oh my God. Well, whatever. But what I was going to ask you was, what about TV alts? Because that would be a picture where you would.
Well, we shot you know, in those days, you don't do that anymore.
Oh.
But in those days, we shot what was called the European version.
Okay.
Which was a little more, well, it was the same as the R-rated release here. But we also shot a version where all the topless scenes, which they're not that many, but they're topless scenes, the girls are wearing brasiers. So we shot the same scene again.
Right.
And when there was swearing, you know, they may have had to, I know that on Blues Brothers, I said, I'm not shooting alternate dialogue because the Blues Brothers is rated R. There's nothing in that movie I wouldn't show a 5-year-old. I mean, it's a completely innocuous movie, but the language is profane. Yeah. They swear a lot, and they swear so much that I said, I will not shoot alternate takes. It's too difficult.
Yeah.